be physical fit. It's all about the small things you do every time. The baby step stuff. Small things that don't even mean anything because they are compounded over time. For example, if I'm eating fruits today in the morning, it won't reflect. And tomorrow I eat another fruit and whatever, it won't reflect. If I'm walking today, tomorrow, it doesn't reflect even in a week. It doesn't reflect even in a month. But by the end of the year, I'm totally different from my brother who doesn't do the same thing. Because my mind will be different. I'm physical fit, I'm alert. To him, he won't be very alert. In fact, he'll be losing temper very quickly because he's lazy, he's sluggish, he sits down, he eats the wrong food daily. But he doesn't notice that it takes effect. Baby steps the right way. Replace the wrong habits to good habits. If you have to go home today, what will you do that will be very positive? Change it. Kama kuna kitu yote ufanya wrong. Just change the habit. Kidogo tu. And make it a habit. After 21 days, the habit has picked up. Just like a baby. Today I was, where is Lucy? Lucy had a baby, and I told the baby will start walking. Pick something that you'll want to achieve. By the time the baby starts walking, that habit should be the same, because the baby will start walking. He's gonna see you walking, and he's crawling, then he'll start to walk. Now, compete with the baby and see what you'll achieve. And then the baby start talking, start calling you mama, daddy. You know what I mean? Now, pick something else that you want to change. That small habit, baby steps. When you change those small things, they reflect. Kama umependa tu unataka kuomba after food or before food, that's it. If you want to shower in the morning and to shower in the evening, it becomes a habit. If you want to take a walk every evening or early in the morning, it becomes a habit. A good habit. Just replace the old ones. If you're eating pizza kila saa, reduce them. If you are smoking and everybody's telling you it's not good for your health, it can be replaced. It's just changing small thing. And then we'll see. They take toll about that time. Okay, where are we so far? The power of leverage. Everything we're going to do with Bricken is about the leveraging. Now, I showed you the most important thing is the cash flow. So we are focusing on cash flow. But we want to use the leverage. Leverage is anything that you can use, any resource you use. That means the people who work, they come and put the time. So McDonald's, it leverage everything. You know, it has people who have to go to work, and they are paid for the time. Right? It has also the people who bring the food, the things, the raw food. It has farmers who bring the the burgers and all that kind of stuff. All this is a system coming from a different thing to another, coming to the end of the plate to make the money for the owner. So if you leverage all that stuff, it's called in a system that works automatically, which is what we talk in the cash flow, the system. Then it does everything for you automatically. You only need to put money in, and that money works for you. But does that money need to be coming from your hard sweat? Not really. Sometimes even we sit on the money and we say go broke. But we are sitting on the money, you have money in the saving account. Again, bearing you nothing. Yes, unaona, tukitembea na nyinyi hapo, you know you got 20K kwa saving account. Ama iko kwa land that really hata Masai wanatembeza ng'ombe tu huko. Yeah? That land is not bearing anything. Maybe hata kuna mamawe, nini, but the money is there, bearing nothing. I know it's important to have a land. Land is important, but we need the money working. That's why I always say, I would rather have something that is creating money than something sitting down there. A land is good, we'll appreciate, but how does that land appreciate? I think it's to do with the, what do you call, speculation? Or is it the demand? Speculation. Somebody buys because you are saying, oh, I'm going to 300,000. And me na 200. While my property is simple, supply and demand. East Street today, if it was 20K, every other property around that area of the same kind of thing will be about 20K. So if I'm going to look at the apple to an apple, I'll know the value. That's the beauty about the property, because I can see what the price is. It's not speculation, it's demand and supply. Then I also know why is it sold at that price. Is there demand? Right now where I'm buying, most of the places I'm buying, I'm competing like crazy. Why? Jeff, wambie. Unaambia huyu jamaa anataka kununua hii land, ukifunga macho hivi anakuambia, if I don't see the deep is the, what is it, is a decision in principle. Within few hours, there's somebody else who is offering. Whoever brings it kwanza, the thing is theirs. What's happening here? That shows there's demand for buying that place. Sindio? So you see now it's about competing about who's going to get that deal. I've never seen that. If you try to sell your land back nyumbani, sometimes inatekeji, sama nyumba. Because I've seen so many people trying to sell their house back home, but it's very hard because who has that money? The demand, you have to wait. Here, it's like a joke. Put it in the market, it's gone. Which is another thing we have to remember. What that means? Your investment is protected. It can be turned into cash within a short span of time, at least within 3 to 6 months. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. The second thing is appreciating, because kama kuna demand, what happens? The price changes. So kama ilikuwa inauzwa 100, whoever brings 115, you can say, no, I don't want even 100. I've seen this demand. Weka 115 bwana. Oh, bado watu wanataka. Weka 120. So there's demand. When you sell it at 120, nakuja kwa title deed, this is in Stanford Hill Road, was sold for 120, it's a 3-bedroom. What happens now? All the other properties are pulled to that price tag. So the next guy sells his at 125, 126. The other guy sells it at 130. And then another guy within another 2-3 months and sell at 135. What has happened now to your property? If you bought it. Or if you didn't buy it, it's still there, still bearing the children or the kids and all the milk. Kumbuke na kupatia bado cash flow. The tenants are still paying you. So the property is growing in value and you are still making money. But both of those sides are all making money, isn't it? Because look, if you put the property for rental and there's too many people wanting that property to rent it out from you, what does that say? There's demand. So it's driving the market again. So if you are renting it for 700 January, in June, if this guy leaves, it's 750. In fact, my property, people stay for 5 years. But every year, you increase by above inflation rate, at least 5 to 10%, even more than that, depending. But swing is took a little bit. So by the time hata tunakuja kuninit, we have made lots of money on that property. A lot of money. Because the property, the guys, they know, they won't leave the property. But even if I increase them with 50 or 25 pounds, it's reasonable. They don't see it as unreasonable. But look at it, 25 pounds per year, how much is that? This is just increasing. Every annual time, I will have to increase a little bit. It's the same lease year, Holiday Inn. Every 2 years, they have to increase their lease by a particular percentage. So the money is just made. Easy money, peasy. So in 5-10 years, if you keep on increasing like that, baby steps. Yeah? Baby steps. Compound effect. Compound effect ni pali 2 pounds, 2 pounds, 2 pounds, 2 pounds. When you come and see the results here, it's massive. Because it's just compounding itself. It's a very, very tough strategy. So I'm just telling you how we do with the properties and how people become rich and rich. All the rich guys, you go have a look at them. They all have assets. They all have property. They all have something like, they all have this stuff. No matter what, they will always invest on properties. Nothing else. So that's how the rich people make a lot of money. So we were talking about Brikena and special purpose vehicle, how to all the asset acquired, developed, and managed on behalf of by accreditation investors. Who are you? You remember the things you guys I was saying to you sign is because you are here. Why do you sign those documents? It's just to say, simple, you understand risk, you have bought lands before, you have bought something before in terms of investment. Of course, maybe you'll put that door, but now you understand that when you put money there, as an investor, there's always a risk. Hata ukinunua shares kwa kampuni, there's a risk. Hiyo kampuni inaweza enda inaweza enda chini, and the value of that share has gone down. Even when I buy a property, that area can be disaster area, can be Chibolo, or what where the Russians had the chemical thing. Chibolo or something. Yeah, what? Chilobo. It can be that. But can I prevent that? No. As long as I've insured, I know I'm covered. But can be that. Anything can happen. But at least I know it's an asset. Your asset doesn't depreciate. But government allows us to depreciate it. Every time we took 10% of depreciation of an asset, nyumba ushaona ikidepreciate, simuone ikina tuju. How come government allows us to depreciate in our profit and loss account? To give us money back. I've never seen a project, something that the government gives you money for nothing, like property. Imagine when you reinvest, when you refinance the property, what happens? How come those people give you 80,000 to your bank account and nobody chases you for a tax, to tax you? See any craziness? How can government give you free money because you just refinance a property and took more money out of it and didn't charge you tax? Show me anything else that the government doesn't tax. It's the only property they don't tax you for taking money for free. And that's how you see people living in Spain, don't work. Why? Because they can refinance that property as many times as they want. Every year they take 50, covers them for the whole year. They take the next year, they take from the other property another 50, covers them for another year. Because the property has imeongezeka, and they're still making their cash. Are you getting the dream where they do? So even if you wanted to retire, which is the best retirement thing? To put it in the pension or to put it in the property that gives you that 50, 70,000 pounds? So guys, this is where you need to be. You can only learn this when you're in the same arena. How will you learn it? You have to be in the same pot. You have to be in the same swimming pool. Okay? So when you understand small things like this, you'll see why people retire when they are 50. Because they put their money in the right place, not in a saving account. They put in investment that give them returns and grows that way. So this is how the Brikena is set up. You'll find out, it will come out in a small fund. So there'll be like, there's a FM asset there. Oh, no. Yeah, it takes time, my friend. I could have gone to Mombasa and back. Lakini itakuja tu. So, what is really happening here? Why do we use the bond note issues? Why? Because the other thing why we work with the bond is because the easiest way to do the structuring way. Now, let's assume nilikuwa nimechukua doo zenyu, tukaenda tukanunua nyumba with all your names, and I went to the lender with all your names, and then you have a bad credit, you have one of you have a bad credit, mwingine sija nini, so many stories. Do you think we'll be able to get out of the first entrance? No chance, sindio? So we have to put a tool that can pass that stage. Because we have different concepts, but we want to invest. So we need to have a tool that works in a legal framework properly, in a transparent, but also gives returns. So that's why we use the bond part of it, because that's more like it. It's a simple way. But what's our objective? Our objective is very big. In 5 years' time, we want to be REIT. REIT is what we call Real Estate Investment Trust, where the government now has given a license that people now can be a company which has got properties and qualifies can now float. That means that the guy's going to go and look at our company and say, okay, we own Holiday Inn in Dunstable. We own Holiday Inn Milton Keynes. We own properties, apartments in Nottingham. All that, they'll calculate all that figures. And then they'll tell, okay, you guys, you seem to have property which are, if when we value them, they are worth maybe, let's say we value 500 million. So that's what we are worth. Because we bought them below market value, the added value, our shares, the units we were buying, created that value. Now we are worth 500 million. So what is your unit now worth? You see, if we divide with all the units we have collected and divide by what we are worth, That's what you're going to be converted into shares. So if it's multiplied by 10 or 20 or 30 or 40, all depending on what our valuation of the company is in 5 years' time, now see the worth. And you can sell part of the shares you want. For example, that's if you hang around with us for 5 years. You are able now to say, it's in the open market, people can buy shares of you. Look at the Cooperative Bank, has been having members for years. They own so many, they have funeral water, they have whatever. It's the same system. How did they start? These are members. They have all those companies they keep bringing, cooperative, whatever. It's the same story. But they know how to do the game, isn't it? So we are not late. We are not just, or we're not bringing something new. What we are doing is, I'm telling you, we can do it too. Yeah. So, and you'll be the founders. So because you are the founders, you see now, you protect. That's why I tell you, if you're in Brikana, you protect it. It's yours. Me, I'm just, let's say, an instrument. I'm just telling you, this is how it is. So that's the whole concept. So we work on it. Right, got it. So here, you guys, here is the property portfolio. Here is FM asset. We find this, we source the product. So we have team of people going in. You can tell you, my email. France shows them someone, he shakes the head. He just shakes the head. Say, these people tell you, if you have 100,000, we give you this property. It's below market value. It has been brought in the market. They have gone. Why did they get that property? Somebody called them. They're having a divorce. They wanted to be separated like the other day, yesterday, but one. They don't want to see each other. They want to get rid of their property quickly. Any money will do. This guy goes in there and negotiates to tell them, okay, I've got this on the pot. Do you want it? Yeah. That's how we get below market value. That's one way. Sometimes it's a guy who is the property is in repossession. And because it's being taken by the bank, we can step in and pay that debt and take the house below market, because the debt will be below that property's value. Again, we get a property below market value. What does that mean? You are buying a property with profit. Ushaingia kwa any business that you do, and the moment you buy, it has profit in it. That's what we do. Every property we buy has profit in it. Why? And then it has cash flow. We know just a few decoration, maybe painting, carpet, floorboards, nene. It's back in the market. Cash start coming. You can sell it if you want to, which makes it secure, because we can sell it. Anything you have invested in, we can sell it. So don't be worried that, what about if you go bust or whatever happened to your company? It's a property, it can be sold. There are people ready to buy it anyway at a good price. You see now where your money is secured? So we look at it that way, then we look at how money is protected. And it's because we are buying assets. Security trustee. You'll see our magazine, the new guys who have come here, I think they Rafael property, our catalog, our magazine. And it will talk about security trustee. Security trustee is who protects you. Make sure that whatever we promise you will pay you per annum. It's what we give you. If we told you we're going to give you 8 to 10%, we're going to give you 10%. But how am I going to make sure that happens? It's because the strategy we use gives us a lot of cash. A lot, which is what I'm going to show you, how we make that cash. We use so many good strategies. Come HMO, who knows HMO? HMOs is more for occupancy thing, yeah? So you got a property with 5 rooms, it's renting for 500 per room, that's 1,500. You give the mortgagee 500, you are remaining with about 2,000 after. You give the other people the insurance, let's say council tax and all that kind of stuff, you still remain with 1,500. So that 1,500, I can be able also to give the investors their 10%. So you understand now, where you are getting also your cash back every annum. And then you can also simply reinvest that money. And we keep moving. Now, is your money now earning zero? It's not it's not now controlled by the bank in the saving account. It's you controlling it now because it's working for you, not the bank. Because the bank will give it to me at 3.5%, and they'll give you less than 1%. So if you understand the concept, right? Guys, are we together? Yeah. So if we get the lenders, they become the senior guys. They become the senior loans. If it use the lenders. If you don't use the lenders, you are the senior loaners. So it means that anytime we sell the property in case, you are the first one to get it. But if you have a lender, they become the number one. They get their money first.